Hello everyone, and welcome to our first yoga class practice session. So for today we're going to do some fairly gentle work, and all you'll need in terms of props is of course your yoga mat and some kind of chunky or bulky blanket or pillow that you can use to stack your body and sit on or kneel on. So to begin, we're just going to sit in easy pose, which is this nice relaxed position with one heel in front of the other. If you've never sat in easy pose, it can be a little uncomfortable at first to have those heels stacked in front of the center of the body, because typically one of our legs is higher than the other. You can adjust by placing the other leg in front to see if that makes you more comfortable, but typically that makes that leg that's a little less flexible want to, it makes it strain just a little bit. So wherever you're most comfortable, have a seat. And this would be the time where if you're not super comfortable seated, that you'd want to sit on your blanket or even prop your hips up, only perching on the edge of the blanket, lifting the fleshy part of your bum up, and that will tilt those hips forward and make it a little bit easier to sit for an extended period of time. All right, so let's just get nice and quiet before we begin. Lifting the crown of your head toward the center or toward the ceiling. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling nose. Inhale nose. And exhale. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release. We're going to stretch our arms out to the sides, and we're going to walk our middle fingertips as far away from the legs as possible. Chest is lifted, shoulders are back and down, and the crown of the head still extends upward. Nice deep breathing here as you continue to walk those middle fingertips away from the upper body. Should feel the stretch even in the inner elbows, maybe the biceps and the forearms as well as you stretch those arms long. All right, so point the palms down toward the floor. They're probably already that way. And we're going to drop our left forearm directly down to the floor. Left elbow comes down to the floor, and reach your right arm up. Look toward your right palm, which is facing forward toward me. And push that left forearm and elbow and hand into the floor so that you're fanning the ribs on the right side of your body. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale, keep walking those fingertips away from you. Inhale, drop the right forearm down. Exhaling, reaching the left arm up. Fanning your left ribs by pressing down into that right arm. If it bothers your head to look up, just look neutrally forward at the wall across from you. Come back up with an inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale. We're warming up the spine. We're moving that upper body as though there's a pane of glass in front of you and a pane of glass behind you, and you're trying to move without touching that. So you're moving horizontally within those two panes of glass. Beautiful. Back to center. Walk those middle fingertips away from you. Nice deep breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, nose. All right, so relax those arms, and sitting up nice and tall, rest your hands on top of your knees. We're going to stretch in that neck a little bit. Very gentle stretch here. If you want to switch so that the other leg is in front, you can do that. Whatever feels best for you. And again, if now you need to prop yourself up in the seated position, you can do that. Also, if you have a hard time sitting for a long time in that position, you can kneel. You can also stretch one leg out in front of you if that helps you at all as well. So back to the next stretch. We're going to sit up tall and we're going to drop the chin into the chest. And imagine you have some chalk on the base of your chin and you're going to draw a line across your left collarbone with that chin and then look to the left. Draw it back down to the center and keep drawing that line up to the right collarbone and look right. And we're going to bring the breath into it. Inhaling the chin up to a shoulder. Exhaling it back down. So the spine is nice and long from the tailbone up to the base of the neck. Chest is open, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And try not to overdo this. We're not forcing that neck down. We're just letting gravity kind of drop the head down for a comfortable stretch. Keep it going. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Beautiful. Come back to center with that. And let's go ahead and move to all fours. So if you have any trouble getting into all fours position or staying in it, try to place something underneath your wrists or your knees. So for all fours, we're having knees directly under hips, toes are untucked, and your hands are directly under your shoulders. Nice flat back, and you can achieve that by pressing the belly button into the spine and looking at the space between your thumbs. Inhale, a droopy dog belly or cow belly, and look up. So open in the throat, look up to where the wall and ceiling meet, and then round up the back body into a cow. Feel that spine flexing. Open in one direction, and then open in the other direction. We inhale that droopy belly, and we exhale round into the back. Tuck the chin into the chest, tilt the hips forward, big, big arch in the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And come back to center. All right, we're going to move into down dog position, which we will do quite frequently in class. And we want to master this one for sure. So let's really be thoughtful as we get into it. The toes are going to be tucked underneath. Bottom is going to drop down to the heels. Ears come between the arms. So we have a lot of activity going on just in this. A lot of stretching and pushing in those hands, in the feet, in the legs, even in the glutes. And then we simply lift those legs into straightness and relax through the head and neck. So it takes some time to get to where you can work those heels down to the ground. If you need to bend your knees, you may do that. Relax the head and neck completely. If it helps you to turn the head to the left and then the head to the right. Essentially, you want to feel as though your head is a bowling ball on a very big spring. And the spring is your spine. And we're trying to bring space between each of the coils in the spring. So in down dog, you're letting gravity do a lot of the work. Resting through the head and neck. Pressing those shoulder blades down to your bum. Feel free to bicycle your knees as needed. If you haven't done down dog before, or very often you might need to take a break, in which case you can drop to the knees and untuck the toes. If you have trouble getting into full down dog, you can walk your knees back, keep your ears between the arms, and hold puppy dog pose. But if you're still in down dog, let's all come out of it together and move into pose of the child. Bending up those knees, untuck the toes, and drop your bottom down to your heels. You might need to make space between your knees for your belly and chest to fall, or you might need to bring those legs together to prop the belly and chest up. Wherever you are, we want to relax on the forehead and stretch the arms around in back of you and let your fingertips curl up toward the ceiling. If you're not able to get super comfortable in this position, then you can try stacking your blanket underneath the forehead to help you as you get that flexibility over time to where you eventually can relax the head on the floor. Take some deep breaths here and let every muscle in the body melt like wax in the sun. To come out of this, let's stretch the arms around in front of you, press into those hands, and slowly walk yourself upright. All right, let's come back to the all fours position and move into some strength and lengthening. All right, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Come here. And what we're going to try to do from here is lengthen our leg and arm. Opposite leg, opposite arm, and then drop it down. I need to scoot forward a little bit because my foot hit the wall. I know you all are sometimes in tight spaces too. So lift your left arm up and your right leg and reach those fingertips as far away from the toes as possible and come back. Inhale, right arm, left leg, and drop it down. Inhale, left arm and right leg, and come back down. Now, make sure you're looking at the space between your thumbs so that the back of your head is an extension of the spine. Squeeze the belly button into your spine, engaging those abs. Nice deep breathing, inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up, and down, up, and down. You're feeling this now in the glute, I'm sure, perhaps also in the shoulder. As you lift that leg, squeeze in the glute, lengthening from your fingertips to your toes. Get that spine nice and long. One more time on each side. And we're done. All right, let's move in and out of that cat and dog movement just to stretch that spine a bit. Inhale, droopy dog or cow. Exhale, round into cat back. Inhale. Good, and come back to a nice flat tabletop back. I'd like you to take your right foot and place it where your right hand is. And take that right hand to the outside of that right foot. Slide your left leg back. And for some of you, this is plenty of a stretch. So just stay there, looking down at the place inside your right foot and dropping your left hip down to the floor. For others, you can come a little deeper into this. So I'd like you to bring your forearms down to the floor, cup one hand inside the other, and hug your right shoulder with your right knee. Keep dropping those hips down. Now, if you can come even deeper into this, you want to drop your right knee over to the right and roll onto the outside edge of that right foot. That's going to get this deep into the SI joints on your right glute regions. And relax the shoulders away from the ears. Wherever you are in this, the crown of the head is extending across the room. Spine is long, and the breath is deep. We're going to come out of this slowly. So if you have that leg drop to the side, bring the knee up to the shoulder. If you're down on the forearms, press into your hands. And wherever you are, drop your left butt cheek over your left knee and straighten your right leg. If you're able to, flex your right foot and drop your head down toward the floor. Now for some of you, you're going to need to use your hands pressed into the floor for balance. And because you might not be as flexible, you're going to need that support. And that's perfectly fine. But the ideal here is to walk the hands forward beyond the leg, beyond the foot, and relax your head and neck down. Try to equally weight your body in your right heel and your left knee so that you're not only holding yourself up with one or the other, but equally distributing your weight so that you get a nice deep stretch, obviously in the back of that right leg. Flexing that foot helps get this a little deeper from hip to heel. And of course, don't hold your breath. We want to breathe nice and deep. Releasing the shoulders away from the ears, rolling the crown of the head away from the tailbone, even here. About 10 more seconds here. Try to breathe through it. Good. Bend up your right knee and then slide that right leg back and come back to your all fours position. Let's go ahead and have a seat, kneeling just for a moment, giving our wrists and hands a little break. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, relax them back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. One more time. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Let's take it in the opposite direction. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. One more time. Inhale, back, up. Exhale, forward and down. All right, let's move this stretch onto our left side. So coming to all fours, Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Take your left foot and place it where your left hand is. Left hand is going to come to the outside of that left foot. And we're going to slide the right knee back and untuck the right toes. Drop your right hip down to the floor. If this is enough of a stretch for you, stay here. If you can come a little bit deeper in, bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Drop down to the forearms. Elbows directly under shoulders and hug your left shoulder with your left knee. If this is enough of a stretch, stay here. If you can go deeper, slowly drop your left knee to the left side of the room and allow that left side of the foot to rest on the floor. Getting this stretch deeper in that left glute region. And reach the crown of your head across the room. Press the shoulders away from the ears, growing that spine. Nice deep breathing, looking at the space between your wrists. Let those hips just melt down. And we're going to come out of this slowly, rolling back onto the sole of the foot. If you had the knee off to the side, pressing into the hands if you were on your forearms, and then bending into your right knee as you straighten the left leg. Relax the head and neck down, flex the foot of the left leg if you're able, and relax the head and neck as you walk your hands forward, deepening into the stretch and balancing the weight of the body equally in your left heel and right knee. See if you're holding tension or tightness in the shoulders. Try to relax there. Growing that spine long. Opening the back of the left knee to the ground beneath you. Hang out here a little bit longer. Beautiful. Bend back into your left knee. Slide that left knee back. Bring those knees forward. And again, have a seat in a kneeling position. We're going to go into a spinal twist here, which will be nice after doing so much intense work in the legs, moving into the upper body. So sitting up nice and tall, just have one foot on top of the other, kind of stacking in your toe region. Now, if you have trouble kneeling for an extended period of time, you can stack quite a few blankets or pillows underneath your bum to help elevate you and feel more secure. It also helps if you have limited flexibility in the back of the legs. So just use your props, use your blankets and pillows as needed to make things comfortable for you. You can also do this without kneeling You can do a spinal twist in that easy pose if that feels more comfortable for you, or even stretch the leg out as needed. All right, but ideally we're going to do this kneeling right now with the toes stacked, the spine nice and long, the chin tucked just slightly into the chest, so the back of the head is an extension of the spine. And I'd like you to take your right hand to the outside of the left thigh before you even think about moving the spine to the left. Then take your left hand and place it around your back body. So you can place the back of the hand along that lower back, or if you're fairly flexible, you can try to hold on to your right hip with your left hand. Now notice we haven't moved the spine at all. We're going to thoughtfully move belly first, then chest and chin. So use the leverage of your right hand on the left thigh to come around gently with the belly, then the chest, then the chin. If you imagine your spine like a wet towel and you're trying to wring the water out of it from the center, then you want to be very thoughtful about where you start to twist and where you end. And that's why we go belly first, then chest, then chin. Now a lot of people start to hold their breaths in a twist, which is understandable. The abdomen is constricted, the organs are constricted, the lungs are even a little constricted from the twist. But this is actually when we want to breathe deeper than normal. We want that pressure from the deep breath into those internal organs to help us cleanse and detoxify the organs from that pressure and the squeeze, they call it. So breathe deeper than normal. Inhale, fill your lungs and belly with air. Exhale, release it. Each time you exhale, you make space to come around a little deeper to the left. Exhale. Beautiful. Slowly relax that back to center. Chin, chest, belly, hands. We're going to hold on to our knees. Come forward with that cow belly, looking up, and round into that cat back. Tuck the chin into the chest. Pull on those knees. Squeeze the belly back into the spine. 2 more times. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Sit up nice and tall. Let's move into our right side. Again, sitting up tall. Back of the head, an extension of the spine, chin slightly tucked in. Take your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand is going to come in back of you. Back of that hand presses into the spine, the back. Forearm presses into the back. And use that leverage of the left hand on the right thigh to gently twist belly first, then the chest, then the chin. Look behind you or close the eyes. Thinking about that spine, twisting, corkscrewing around, expanding in all directions. And think about that deep breath, going for the squeeze. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling nose. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. And exhale, keep that going. Nice, gentle, relaxed shoulders. See if you can find a little extra space to come around to the right. And slowly and easily relax it back to center, chest and chin and belly. Hands on the knees. Inhale, big, coming forward. Exhale, big, rounding back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Come back to a seated position in easy pose. All right. We're going to do a couple more stretches before we rest on our back. Let's just move into the arms a little bit. A lot of us don't know how to stretch the arms, especially into the forearms and wrist. But we use our forearms, wrists, hands all day long. So it's really great to learn how to stretch them, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable at first. So let's start with the wrists. Turn your palm toward me and gently take your left hand and pull your right fingertips toward your right shoulder. Now make sure that your right wrist is on the same level as your right shoulder. We don't want it down here and we don't want it up here. We don't want it out to the side or in, straight up, okay? And now your thumb's kind of sitting there doing nothing, so let's engage that thumb to get a little bit deeper into this. We're gonna make nice big circles with that right thumb. So if you're sitting at home cringing right now because this is pretty painful, you're not alone. This is uncomfortable. We don't want any sharp pain. Mild discomfort is okay. Helps us know we're getting outside of our comfort zone. So we're stretching, growing, evolving. All right, let's take that thumb in the opposite direction. Of course, if there's sharp pain, you want to back off. So don't pull those fingertips quite as close to the body, or don't make your circles with your thumb quite as large. Shoulders tend to creep up toward the ears through this, and again, the breath gets held, so relax the shoulders. Spine is nice and long. Breath is deep. A couple more rotations with that thumb. Bring it to stillness. Good. Release it gently and shake that right wrist out. Wonderful. So if that was super uncomfortable for you, you need to do it more often, maybe once a day, until it becomes less uncomfortable and you have that increased flexibility there. Let's try the left side. Left palm faces forward. Right hand gently pulls the left fingertips in toward the chest. Left wrist is directly out from left shoulder. Shoulders relaxed from the ears. Spine is nice and long. Let's begin to circle the left thumb. If you hear my little puppy whining, that's because it's lunchtime and he's ready. Let's see, we think he's about 14 years old. We got him 7 years ago. And he's the boss. He gets what he wants. Because who knows how long he'll be here, right? Yeah, you've earned it. And in the opposite direction. Yes, I see you, buddy. I know you're there. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just trying to distract you because I know this is uncomfortable. Keep that elbow opening up toward the ceiling. Yeah. Lovely. Bring that to stillness and shake that left wrist out. Awesome. Okay, so sometimes we use straps in the class to do this next movement, but we're going to do it without the strap by just keeping our arms above the head. So we're going to stretch in our tricep muscle. This is that muscle in the back of the upper arm. We're going to lift the right arm up and drop the hand down the back body. Take your left hand and hold onto your right elbow behind the head. Typically that's going to make you come forward and drop the chin into the chest. I'd like you to sit up nice and tall, lifting the chest, exaggerating that, and lowering the shoulders back and down, so that you're getting an expansion in the chest, in the spine. Bring that right elbow to the inside or the outside of the right ear. Let's switch arms. So reach the arms up, drop your left hand down the back body, take your right hand, hold onto your left elbow, and gently pull that left elbow toward the left ear. Nice deep breathing, shoulders relaxed, spine is long. Good. Reach the arms up and go ahead and relax those hands on the knees. I'm scooting back just so you can see me. We're going to move back into the wrists and forearms for just a moment. So I'd like you to take your hands, and let's start with the hands pressed into the floor just right in front of us. Now if that's enough of a stretch for you or enough work, that's perfectly fine, stay there. If you can turn your hands out to the sides, fingertips pointing to the long or the short edges of your mat, and press into the palms, go for that. If you can go even deeper, we're going to bring the fingertips toward the body and push those wrists gently down to the floor. You adjust how much weight and pressure you put into the palms, and try to relax the weight of the body into the deep stretch. Opening the elbows up to where the wall and ceiling meet across from you. Neck and head are neutral. Breath is deep. Breathe into that place where you're feeling the challenge. It's probably the elbow or forearm region, maybe the wrists or palms. Breathe a softening energy into those places. Releasing tension and tightness with the exhale. About 10 more seconds here. Breathe. And gently bring those hands up, and again, shake the wrists out. Very nice. That's about it for the upper body for now. So let's go ahead and rest on our backs. We're not going to use the stickiness of the mat anymore, so if you want to have a blanket underneath you, you can do that. Just make sure it's nice and level from your hips to the back of the head. So, coming down onto the floor, let's start in corpse position or Shavasana. Feet are going to fall away from one another. Fingertips curl up toward the ceiling. Back body melts into the floor. Front body is light and lifted. Just see how you're feeling here, resting on the floor. then go ahead and bend up your knees and bring your heels underneath those knees and lift your right ankle and cross it just above the left knee. Lift your left foot off of the floor and interlace your hands behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin, and then use your right elbow to press the inner right thigh toward the ceiling. Keep your lower back and your shoulder blades glued to the floor as you flex your feet and hold this figure four stretch for the deep, deep opening in the right glute. That should be where you're feeling this, perhaps also up into the right hamstring. Visualize that area of the body opening and releasing tightness. And keeping your lower back on the floor, see if you can pull the top of the left thigh in a little closer to the left chest and press the right inner thigh a little closer to the ceiling. Gently release the hands, drop the left foot to the floor, relax the feet down underneath the knees, heels under the knees, and let's move to the other side. Lift the left ankle up, cross it just above the right knee, lift your right foot off of the floor, keeping your lower back glued down, interlace the fingers behind the right thigh or in front of the right knee, or shin rather. Take the left elbow to the inside of the left thigh, pressing that left thigh toward the ceiling as you pull the top of the right thigh into the right side of the chest. If you'd like to deepen in, flex through the feet and just breathe. Breathe into the stretch and the glute. Breathe out the tension and tightness. And let's gently come out of this, releasing the hands, the feet down. Beautiful. All right, so go ahead and pull those knees into the chest. Right hand in front of right knee, left hand in front of left knee, and allow the weight of the arms to rest into the inner thighs. If it's too intense of a stretch for you, then press the upper arms into the floor and support your legs, holding them so that it's not too deep. Supporting them and supporting yourself away from gravity pulling those legs open too far. Otherwise, just rest here. Letting everything go. going to do one more thing after this before final relaxation. So find yourself transitioning into that space of tranquility and peacefulness as we move through these last couple things. Slowly bring your knees back to center and drop your feet on the floor underneath the knees again. This time we're going to bring the legs right next to one another. Feet right next to one another. Open your arms into T position, which just means they're crossing the body at the chest. Fingertips pressing up or resting up toward the ceiling, pulled up. We're going to lift our right leg and cross it over the left leg. Now you might want to stack some pillows over to the side of your left butt cheek if you feel like this is going to be too deep. If you have a block or a bolster, you can also use that next to the left butt cheek and thigh to help you support yourself as you twist. But if you're not going to use those, then we want to drop the knees over to the left and relax the head and neck over to the right. More assisted spinal twist. Really wonderful opening movement, expanding the spine in all directions, just like our seated twist. But we have the floor helping us get some leverage to deepen in. Soften in the shoulders, soften the face, soften the fingertips and toes. Just let everything melt down into the ground. All the muscles relaxed, even the little tiny ones in our face and fingertips. And then slowly bring the nose and knees back to center. Uncross that right leg from the left. Bring the head up just slightly to rest right back down in the center of the back of the head. And then bridge up your spine to about midway up the spine, and then lower it back down nice and flat, nice and straight as well. Bring the feet together, the knees together, and lift that left leg up and cross it over the right leg. Allow the legs to fall to the right and the head to relax to the left. You might find you're more or less flexible on this side. Just take notice. So many factors contribute to the imbalances in our body. When we find them through doing these poses where we mirror on one side and the other, finding an imbalance just shows you what poses you need to do more often. So if you feel severely more or less flexible on one side of the body than the other in this pose, try to do it more often, and you will find reduced injury, reduced pain, and in general, probably feeling better as you go throughout your day with less imbalance. Just about 30 more seconds here before we transition fully into final relaxation. All right, let's go ahead and bring the nose and knees back to center. Lift that left leg up, uncross it, and we're gonna move ourselves. Actually, before we do that, let's bridge up. Nice straight spine, coming back down. Now let's stretch out for final relaxation. If you like to cover up with a blanket so you don't get too cold too fast, you might want to do that. You can also place blankets or pillows underneath the knees, which is kind of nice to have that support and allow those legs to fall off to the side supported. But ultimately, we want to have our back bodies resting into the floor. And you want to almost feel like you're growing little roots into the floor, feeling very connected to the ground beneath you. And then we want that front body to feel light and lifted, expanding in all directions. And final relaxation is a time where we not only permit, but encourage selfishness. So I want you to create a barrier around the mind where you only let positive thoughts come in. Anything negative can't get through the filter or that barrier. It's just going to take a back seat. It'll be there when we're done with final relaxation and you can address it then. But for now, this sacred space, this sacred quiet time, still time for the body, is all about good things. So as you rest on the floor, I'm going to play a song. It's nice and relaxing. And will hopefully help you get a little bit deeper into your relaxation. The song is called Contentment. So just stay on the floor with the eyes closed, the body relaxed, breathing deep, and then just let the breath be natural and effortless. Let the heart beat inside the body effortless. You don't have anywhere to be, nowhere to go, nothing to do except rest here and be in the moment. Embrace that. Just be. Gently and easily becoming aware of your body resting on the floor. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, roll over to your right side and stack the arms and legs. Maybe make a pillow with your hands to rest your head as you open the eyes and take a couple deep breaths. And then when you're ready, use that left arm to press yourself up to sitting. Wonderful job today. Make sure you drink lots of water, stay hydrated. After that practice with our twists, we're detoxifying, so it's good to help flush the system with lots of water. All right, until I see you next time, namaste.